Today, it's an oft-quoted classic, but Fight Club was only a modest success when it was released in 1999. Its cult film status was cemented by repeated VHS and DVD viewings, thanks to the brilliant performances by Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Helena Bonham Carter in David Fincher's adaptation of the novel of the same name. By now, we're all as familiar with the movie's twist as we are with the whole bit in The Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
Yes, there's the whole first rule of Fight Club. But we've all shared anecdotes like the subversive frames hidden in the movie, or the Starbucks cups in every scene. Here, we'll take a look at 10 things you never knew about Fight Club. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. And subscribe to MovieWeb to keep up with the conversation about all of the things we love. The producers courted 4 different directors. It's hard to imagine anyone else behind the camera, but producers approached at least 3 other directors for the job before making a deal with David Fincher, who at the time had made Alien 3, 7, and The Game. A copy of the book was reportedly sent to future X-Men director Bryan Singer. Producers met with Trainspotting director Danny Boyle and reportedly really wanted to work with Peter Jackson, but the New Zealand filmmaker was busy making The Frighteners instead. Russell Crowe could have been Tyler Durden. Speaking of famous men from New Zealand, producers were interested in casting Russell Crowe as Tyler Durden.
Want to switch seats?
Though LA Confidential was released in 1997, Crowe breakthrough Gladiator had yet to arrive. Fox wanted a bigger name. David Fincher had worked with Brad Pitt on 7, so with the director's help, producers were able to bring him on board.
You should join our club.
Pitt helped fashion the character into the one audiences ultimately saw on screen, in all of his swaggering and aggressive glory. Matt Damon and Sean Penn were considered for Jack. The role of the everyman narrator, nicknamed Jack in the script, of course went to Edward Norton. Producers considered Matt Damon. Both of them were up for the talented Mr. Ripley. Years later, in one of the Jason Bourne movies, Matt Damon's character squares off against a guy in a fight club. Edward Norton appeared in 2012's The Bourne Legacy, the Bourne movie that actually starred Jeremy Renner. Sean Penn, another almost narrator, did eventually play a character named Jack in a movie that co-starred Brad Pitt, Terrence Malick's 2011 drama, The Tree of Life. Many familiar faces were up for Maria. The movie's stars once jokingly summarized Fight Club as a story about 2 friends who start an amateur boxing club for disadvantaged young men and the woman who comes between them. That woman, of course, is Maria, who may or may not even be real, depending on which internet rabbit hole holds the truth. Fincher offered the part to Janeane Garofalo, who passed. Other actresses considered for the role included Winona Ryder, Reese Witherspoon, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Courtney Love, who acted alongside Norton in The People vs. Larry Flint. That all-important first punch feels real because it was. I want you to hit me as hard as you can. Norton and Pitt had trained in various fight styles and even soap making, but this was supposed to be just another movie punch. Shortly before calling action, Fincher told Norton to hit Pitt for real. Look closely after it happens. Edward Norton is clearly giggling at Pitt's surprise. No, Loaf didn't really look like that. No, the famous Bat Out of Hell singer and the Rocky Horror Picture Show scene stealer, whose birth certificate reads Marvin Lee a Day, didn't really look like that. To achieve the look of Bob in Fight Club, Loaf wore a fat suit stuffed with birdseed. Speaking of rock stars, when Tyler Durden says, "We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and rock stars, but we won't," he looks right at Angel Face. Jared Leto had already formed 30 Seconds to Mars, who would sell millions of copies of albums like their self-titled debut, A Beautiful Lie, and This Is War. David Fincher wanted Radiohead to score the movie. David Fincher was unable to convince Radiohead to score Fight Club. 2008, there were news reports that the elusive UK band had agreed to score the movie Choke, based on Fight Club author Chuck Palahniuk's novel of the same name, but those proved to be unfounded. Fincher was able to secure the Dust Brothers, the producer duo best known for their work with Beastie Boys, Beck, and Hanson. Fincher would later collaborate with Trent Reznor, with the Nine Inch Nails mastermind and his partner Atticus Ross making music for the directors The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Gone Girl, and The Social Network, which won them an Oscar. There's a Fight Club too. Chuck Palahniuk, the book's author, has rather famously said he prefers the film version to his original novel. In recent years, readers were able to revisit the author's world via the comic book sequel Fight Club 2, published by Dark Horse Comics. No strangers to Hollywood, Dark Horse is the publishing house responsible for Hellboy, Sin City, 300, American Splendor, Mystery Men, Barbed Wire, Time Cop, and The Mask. Will there be a Fight Club musical? Going as far back as at least 2004, Fight Club's author has claimed there's a musical in the works, with new music by Reznor and the participation of Tony Award winner Julie Taymor, who worked on The Lion King and Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. He even confirmed as much in a tweet from San Diego Comic-Con in 2015. Time will tell if the rock opera was ever for real, or just a Tyler Durden-style prank. We hope you enjoyed this look at 10 things you never knew about Fight Club. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. Be sure to subscribe to MovieWeb to keep up with the conversation about all of the things we love.